Now, what have we learned? If the question says calculate the work, what should you do? What's the first thing that we must look at?
We calculate the cost of equity and the cost of debt.
Yes, so look at the funds. Or according to what we just described or talked about, what do you look at?
Capital structure.
Yes, you want to find out how have our assets been financed. Then once you identify the financing mix, then you can decide which cost you're going to calculate. So let's back to our question here. What is the question indicating? How has the company been funded?
It's being financed by bonds.
There's a bond and
equity.
And equity. The equity beta of the company is 0.9 and has how many shares in issue? So this company has got equity. The market value of each share is 7.5. The company is also financed by 7% bonds with a nominal value of 100. The bonds have a total nominal value of 14 million. So that's the nominal value of the bonds. So the question then says, you must calculate the cost of equity and the cost of debt. Now, cost of equity, we have learned when the question says cost of equity, you have only two possibilities. What are those two possibilities?
Dividend valuation model.
Or you can use them. So the one that you're going to use depends on the information given. Now looking at this information, what language are they using?
Use CAPM.
CAPM.
Yes. From the language used, from the variables being mentioned.
Yes, sir.
So then, and that's what you have to do in the exam. Don't panic, just ask yourself, what model am I going to use from the information given? Okay. Let's look at the bond. What type of a bond is this one?
So redeemable.
Yes, it's redeemable. And if a bond is redeemable, what are you going to use?
Internal rate of return.
Good.
IRR.
So then the question has become manageable, isn't it? Then what we need also are the market values. We need the market values. You need market values of debt and equity. So now let us do our calculations. Okay. We have again broken down the question, and I'm sure we have seen that these questions, if you are systematic, after all, they're not very difficult. Yeah, if you're just systematic, you won't have a problem. The problem comes when you don't approach the question systematically. Don't approach the question systematically, yes, can give you troubles. As we do questions, please get involved. I envisage that you've got your exercise book, or you've got some piece of paper where you're writing, but preferably an exercise book. You've got your pen there, you've got your calculator there. So I take it that you have got a full day. You're conducting yourself like you're just in a physical classroom. With all the attention.
Yes, sir.
Good. That is what we expect there. Not taking everything casual, because if you take everything casual, then you're going to have problems in the exam. You start wishing that you had asked questions or paid attention. So let's go, cost of equity.
Mr. Piri,
Yes, madam.
when calculating the cost of equity using CAPM, which beta do we use?
Okay. Let's answer the question. Yeah, you have answered a very good question. Actually, you're just driving us to the Zika questions. That's what I like what you have done, because you're just driving us to answer or to deal with an exam situation. So let's do this. So in terms of the approach, what are you going to use? CAPM. That is one. Then you say where cost of equity equals risk-free plus beta bracket minus RF. There we go. Now let's answer, getting closer to the question. What's the risk-free? What is a beta? What is a risk-free given in the question?
4%.
Beta, will leave it out. Now this time around, they've said average market return. So they gave you 11. And if you want to get a premium, you can get it yourself. You can get it yourself. So what is the premium now?
To be 7.
Yes. Now, somebody has asked us a question, and that's where the Zika questions are all about. She has asked a question, which beta do we use? So let's go to our terminology. The question says, this is an equity beta. This one, the equity beta of this company currently is 0.9. What does the expression equity beta mean?
It's the geared betas.
Yes, it is a beta in a geared company. That's what it is. Or you can simply say this is a geared beta. A geared beta is a beta within a capital structure that has got what?
Debt.
Debt. So if your capital structure has got equity and debt, your beta is called an equity beta or geared beta. The question use this expression current. They say before you bring in this item here, currently, for the current operations, what is the what? So currently the company is running with a beta of what? 0.9. Okay. So for current, the appropriate beta to use is this one here, the 0.9. That's the beta to use.
So, Mr. Piri,
Yes, please.
does that mean if they don't indicate current weighted average, if they just say calculate the weighted average, do we use the 1.2 for the equity beta?
No, that one is for a different purpose. Leave it alone. That one will come to it. Currently, meaning that there's something happening. When you use the word, can you calculate the current? It means that using the positions as it stands today, before the expected changes. So the question is to specify at which point are you looking at a situation involving the new project or as things stand today? So as things stand today, 0.9 bracket 7. So what is the answer now?
$10.3.
Okay. Any confirmation, people? 10.3. I'm also getting 10.3.
It's correct.
Is correct. So based on the current position, before we discuss the new project, that's where we are. That's a cost of equity of the company. Let's come to our cost of debt. Now you notice that, like I told you earlier on, remember what I told you? I told you that this format that you are using here is you are going to use it again and again. Remember what I told you? Which format am I talking about? Which you cut and paste? It's this one here. It's this one here. So give me the answers now. I think you know the approach. That's what it means when preparing for the exam. In no time, certain situations will start repeating, yeah? Certain situations will start repeating. Let's go. When is our bond redeemable this time around? After how many years?
7 years.
7 years.
Mhm. What is the current market value of our bond? Currently, if the investor wants to buy it, how much is it?
107.14.
Team, are we happy with that? What is the coupon rate of our bond?
7%.
7%. How much is our interest, our tax?
It's 20%, so
20%.
20%.
So there's a person who had asked us, you people, where did you get the 0.7 from? Remember, somebody asked this question. So the interest is 7% by 100. That's what it is. Net of tax for this time, what do you use?
0.8.
0.8. Giving us
5.6.
I hope the person who had asked about the 0.7, you are now happy. You have seen what happened when the tax was 20%. So we go. So here, that's 5.6. What are the terms for redemption? How do we redeem this bond?
It's at par.
At par. Okay. At 7% for 7 years, can somebody help us? At 7% for 7 years?
$5.389.
Okay, what of that one, which is a loan? 0 point?
0.623.
At 4%, can somebody help us?
Where is the 4% coming from?
There?
4%, annuity factor
Yeah.
4%.
Yeah. So IRR is a trial and error process. The 7% was our coupon rate. So at 7%, we've got a minus 14.66. We are now targeting a positive figure. So you need to pick a rate which is 7%, which is below 7%. And in my case, I've chosen 4%. If you say me, I'll choose 3%, I have no problem with you. You can choose that as well.
Okay.
Okay. Some of them, me, I would have chosen 2%, there's no problem. But preferably want a positive figure. Has the question been answered?
Yes, sir.
And it looks like 4% is a magic number because you keep on using the same. So let's go. What is the annuity factor here?
$6.002.
What over there? 0 point?
0.76.
There we are. So what is the cost of debt? The cost of debt
Yes. 4.4%.
4.4%.
4%.
Others?
It's 4.4.
4.4. I'm sure now we're becoming experts on how to find the cost of debt, isn't it? So now we can go to the next item. Next item. Our next item now is the weighted average cost of capital. But for you, before you can do weighted average cost of capital, what do you need there?
The market values.
Market values. So let's get the market values. Equity, how many shares? How many shares?
10 million.
Have you all seen that? 10 million multiplied by, what's the share price?
7.5.
What was the date? What is the market value?
The nominal value is 14 million.
Okay.
Market value is 1.0740.
So you multiply this by what?
1.0714.
1.07.1.
It's 107, not 1.07.
107. So we got your market values. What are the costs? The cost of equity was what? 10.3. And this one was what? So what is the work? Let's go, let's find the answers. Equals that over that multiplied by equals that over that multiplied by this one. So we've got your answer now. How is that? Are you finding the same answer?
Yes, sir.
So I'm sure we can all say now we are okay without finding whatever is cost of capital, the cost of equity, and the cost of debt. But now let's come to the whole essence of this question. Let's come to the whole essence of this question. Let's discuss what's the essence of this particular question. Okay, are we all there?
Yes, sir.
So now, we have a proposal here. The proposal is here. The company plans to invest in a project which is different here, notice that, to its existing business operations. So what reaction do you get here? The reaction is that this company is going to experience a change in what? This company is going to experience a change in the business risk. Therefore, remember that we said that the beta factor is a variable that we use to represent the what? The risk. This beta factor of 0.9 is suitable to the current business. The current business risk. It reflects the current business, this one. Where we are going, this is no longer applicable. And that is why we have said, what should you do in this particular case? What we have said in the notes is that here, in the CAPM, abandon the current beta. This 0.9 should be abandoned. What do? Adopt the beta from the new industry. Adopt the beta from the new industry using the industry average or that of a proxy company. The one from the new industry. And in the new industry, get a beta of, which is a simple an average for the industry, or that of a specific company. And that is why now here, you've got this information. And has identified a company in the same business area as a project called HEX. What terminology do we give to HEX? HEX is what we call what?
A proxy company.
A proxy company. The equity beta, what does equity beta mean? Equity beta, what do we mean there?
Yeah.
Geared beta. So this beta reflects the capital structure of who? Of X. So 1.2 is an equity beta for X and has an equity market value of 54 and the debt value of 12. So now, according to our notes that we have gone through, what process are we supposed to follow here? What process are we supposed to follow here? Here is a process. Adopt the beta from the new industry. That's the 1.2. And gear the beta. Then re-gear the beta. So how do we do ungearing and re-gearing? How do we do ungearing and re-gearing? Let's come here. Let's do it together. So to ungear, we're going to use the formula. The formula is the beta, the asset beta equals the equity beta multiplied by the value of equity over the value of equity plus the value of debt, 1 minus t. So you get the 1.2. you multiply by. What's the value of equity, the market value of equity?
It's 54.
What's the market value of debt?
12 million.
And what's the 1 minus t?
0.8.
0.8. This is what is called ungearing. Converting this equity beta into an asset beta. Where is the mistake for many students? Just wait, look at where many students make the mistake. Many students make a mistake here. You know what they do? They say 54 plus 12, they get the answer, then multiply by 0.8. This is wrong. You start from here. 12 multiplied by 0.8, then you add to 56, to 54. So you start here first. 12 multiplied by 0.8, you get your answer. Then you multiply by 54. You add there, not multiply, you add there. So first of all, you multiply here, then you add. So what's the ungeared beta then? Correctly done?
It's 1.02.
1.02. So what is this called?
The asset beta.
Asset beta. Now this question has been repeated so many times on your paper, so tricks may start coming. So supposing here, if we had been given an asset beta here, if they say this was an asset beta, would there have been any need to ungear it?
No.
No. And this is why you must read the question carefully. So just because we are ungearing, don't say no every time. You need to read and check what has been given. Now, by ungearing, which capital structure have we removed? We have removed this one. This company has got its own capital structure. Fence has got its own capital structure. So now we are going to re-gear. We are going to reimpose gearing for fence. What's the capital structure for fence? It was 75%, 75 equity and 15 what? Do you remember these figures where they have come from?
Yes, sir.
In the question, in our capital structure, those are the figures that we calculated. So then we are going to re-gear 1.02. I say don't use another formula, use the same formula. All you now say is that, which one do we know? This is what is missing. And you multiply by 75 over 75 plus 15 brackets 0.8. So we need now to do a recomputation. So let's go 1.02 equals that multiplied by 15 multiplied by 0.8. What do we get?
12.
Huh?
12.
12. 12 plus 75?
87.
87. 75 over 87. When you divide, what do you get?
0.86.
0.86. So you divide this side by, and divide this side by. So what's the equity beta then? What is the equity beta?
1.18.
1.8.
So this is now the beta which reflects the new industry. So in this beta, we have got the risk of the new industry. In this beta, we have got what else? The financial risk of the company. So the financial risk of the company is being reflected, the business risk being reflected. So then, part B of the question, calculate the cost of equity which could be used in appraising the new project. So the cost of equity now, which is appropriate, is 4 plus 1.18 multiplied by the equity risk premium of 7. So what is the answer now?
$12.26.
2.26. 12.26.
26.
This cost of equity reflects the risk of the new business. It reflects the risk of the new business. Have you seen how we incorporate the change in the business risk? Which item do we recalculate basically? Which one do you recalculate? We simply recalculate what?
The equity.
The cost of equity. The cost of debt, we haven't touched it. This one we haven't touched. We just touched that one. Is that okay? My team, is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. So what we are now going to do is, of course, there's a small question here. We'll come back to it. And even that one, there's a question, they'll come back to it. But now what you need to do is we need to go to our past papers and apply what you have learned onto some questions before we can move on. Okay? Let's take a break, eh? Let's take a comfort break, eh? Yeah. We'll take 10 minutes break, eh?
Okay.
10
sir.
minutes. Okay. So 15:20, let's log back, eh?
Okay, sir.
Yeah, but I think I'll leave this running so that people don't have problems to log back. Sometimes when you log out, to log back becomes a problem for some people. I find we may lose some. So what I'll do is